You know, a lot of people see these custom motorcycles going down the road and they're thinking to themselves, those are not coming from the factory. Who makes those? Well, guess what? It's small, independent shops with a love for motorcycles, and this is one of them, Kustom Fab Hawaii. So let's talk to Roger, one of the owners. Hey, Roger.
Hey, Andy.
How you,
Glad you could stop by, man.
Oh, you got it,
All
man.
right.
We got enough room in here or what, bro? This is...
That's real estate in Hawaii, man. We gotta stay small. It's the only way we can survive. But
this is one of the projects. You got many going.
Yep, this is one of the new projects. So right now we're in a mock-up stage where we're just kind of making sure that everything fits on the bike.
Run the whole process by. Now, when you know, I mean, you and I both know how it goes, but for those who may not know, you mock the bike up, you get it all, and then what? You tear it all back down?
Yeah,
Give me the process.
Tear it all back down. Well, first, that's what we do. We just mock it up, make sure that everything fits. We're gonna make sure that the wheels are all in alignment. The front end is right with the back wheels so that they're in alignment. If they're not, it's gonna be a real dangerous riding bike. And then we'll actually pretty much do the whole bike together. We're gonna drill all the holes for the wiring, set everything, all the things that we need, and then we're gonna take it apart.
How often does the guy go, oh, bro, this tank, come on, Roger,
A lot.
round, not square?
It happens a lot. It happens more than half the time, yeah.
Really?
They don't, yeah. They'll go, nah, it's not what I wanted, you know.
Now, as an artist, how frustrating is that?
Well, I mean, that's just part of the creativity, you know? It's like, my goal is to make something that looks good. If it kind of really doesn't look good to me, I'll tell the owner, you know what, I really think we should change this, you know? And a lot of times the owner will see that, you know? But that's the whole idea. The whole bike, it has to have a theme. So you take a theme, you want like maybe a lot of points or a lot of curves, and then we'll just stick to that throughout the entire build, you know?
Do certain types of bikes come into fashion? And I noticed like some of the younger kids are going one way and the guys my age are going another.
Definitely,
Talk about that a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, there's so many different styles, Andy. So you know, you take a bike like this. This is like I would say maybe a real classic low style chopper. But you know, I've been building bikes like this from like the early 2000s, you know, and so you know, I know how the bike should look, but you know, and it seems to appeal more to, you know, like the older, mature, you know, guy that wants to ride. You know, they really love this style.
With a little more money?
Yeah, exactly, because you need the box. You need the money. Yeah, it's building a bike like this, it's all custom. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. Whereas the younger generation, just like they have different tastes in cars, I mean, their bikes, they're taking low budget bikes like old Japanese bikes or Sportsters, and then they're turning them into cafe style racers, you know, because that's kind of like what's current on the world bike building scene right now.
But you know, Roger, that is the essence of custom bike building. That's where it started. I love to see what they're doing there.
You know, and that's the best part about it, because I can do all these different styles, you know.
Now, your customers are primarily whom? I mean, if someone comes in here with a 1000 Kawasaki and says, oh, I'd like modify this, are you okay with that?
No, then I wouldn't take it in. Because we'll do, you know what? I have to work around what I really know I can work around with. We've been tooling around with like bikes for so long, you know. I've tried so many different things. I kind of like to stick to the Harley base or even some Japanese stuff we'll work on, but it's gotta be, you know, we're within our parameters. You know, I know what we can do. I try to do as much as we can, but that's the whole thing. We want to make like nice customs, you know. Way back in the day, Andy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. When I first started out, that was my goal, to make like make bikes that people thought wouldn't run, because there was no wiring, there were no controls, you know. Well,
explain to the person, how do you do this right here without any wires?
Well, in a case like this, all the plumbing's internal in the handlebar, the wiring's all in the handlebar. You got micro switches right here, you know, those are all your controls. You got an internal throttle.
Yeah. But you ride this bike, you gotta dress like the Green Hornet.
Yeah, I know.
This is, I mean, and you know, I'm being facetious, but sometimes when you have a bike like this, but it's cooler than you are. You know, do you ever
That
have
is
anybody
funny.
go, bro, I had to buy all new clothes?
That is funny. That's funny. I've actually had glasses made to match certain bikes that I did when there were bike shows. You know. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of bike?
Mine is I would say more old school. I'm really into the old school choppers, like the back in the 1970s style choppers. I love shovel heads. So in fact, I'm putting together a shovel head for myself right now.
As a business, is this something you would recommend to like a young guy who's going, you know, I always wanted to open up a
You know what? No, that's the only thing. It's like I would be very skeptical about that because you know it's like it's hard to make money. It's really hard to make money. You know, Andy, I can spend 10 hours massaging and working on that guy's fender, but I can't charge him 10 hours. The average guy is not going to be able to pay that. So, you know, you end up putting 10, you're charging 5, you know? And that's just the nature of the business. That's always the way it goes, you know.
I had this exact bag on my chopper.
I know, it's funny how
So Roger, this is an example of that old school that you were talking about.
Yes.
Tell us about this bike.
All right, this belongs to a customer of ours. His name is Peter. This is a 47 knuckle. So
1947.
that's it. This is the last year knuckle. And you know what? It was like such a cool project because he brought this to us literally in pieces. You know, it was like old stuff. He had a whole collection of parts, you know, and so
literally a basket case.
well, that's what it was. Yeah. So we started putting it together. You know, we fabbed a few things, like the oil tank. We made the oil tank for this one. I made up a sissy bar for it. You know,
This is all your work here.
Yeah, that's all our work here.
This is that 10 hours that you only can charge 5 for.
Kinda.
I'm seeing a foot clutch with a hand shifter.
Yeah,
a
it's a
kickstart.
mouse
It
trap.
doesn't get any more basic
Oh,
than
it's
this.
so basic. We love it. But look
Can I
at
sit
the
on it?
simplicity. Yes, Annie, go ahead, man. But you know, you just gotta love the simplicity of this, you know?
Beautiful. Now, let's take a look at this cafe over here.
Okay. Well, this cafe, this is a new build.
Now, this
and
is
it
a
belongs to
completely
good
different
friend of mine.
style.
Yeah, completely different style, but yet it's, and then Andy, it's like just like what you were talking about. This is the new style shovel head, but it is a new shovel head, but it actually is, you know, with old shovel head components. So it's not like the SNS where they actually, you know, put like new Evo rockers and stuff. Yeah.
So now this one here, okay, again, it feels like the old cafe racer.
The whole
obviously,
idea. It's a cafe.
Let's explain to the people about what a cafe racer is.
Okay.
In Europe, they had cafes, and people would go there on their bikes, have a cup of coffee, and then race to the next cafe. So they
That
call
is
them
so cool.
cafe racers. Okay.
That is it. In fact, I gotta get Norio to translate the kanji, but basically, translated.
What does it say? Back off.
Oh, translated, it says raw or unfinished. You know, because that's the whole. That was the theme of this bike. So you know, it's all aluminum. This is all one-off aluminum.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like that's just it, man.
Can you start it?
Yeah.
I want to hear these pipes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of soft, you know.
No, that's cool. I want to
Actually,
hear it.
really-
And before these pipes kick in, thanks again, bro.
Oh, Andy, it's such a pleasure,
We're gonna make
man.
some noise here.
No, these pipes are really quiet, you know. Here,